just start off this episode with saying that I've hated the intros that I've been doing. And let me tell you why. For anyone that actually knows me, when I'm greeting anybody or a group of people, I don't say hello like I've been doing. I say howdy. Right, my standard greeting is howdy. And so it's felt so weird to greet our audience with hello.
You haven't been your true self.
I know, I've been blowing it. So this week, I finally realized what the hell the problem was. So howdy! Welcome back to Your Ridiculous. This is episode 4. I am one of your co-hosts, Luke. As always, joining me, my inconceivable co-host, Wolfie.
Hello!
Hello out there. No Rainie this week. She's got her own things going on. Just the two of us. Like that song.
I don't know the song.
It's called Just the Two of Us.
Who's it by?
Couldn't tell you.
I probably wouldn't know.
It's a popular song. It's like, just the two of us. We can
Never heard
make it if we try, just the two of us.
What?
It's a song. It's a popular... People on the internet know. People know. Anyways.
I'll take your word for it.
Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed all our previous episodes. Last week we went over Concerned Apes, Eric Brony's newest announcement for his game, Haunted Chocolatier. That's really exciting. That's going to be fun. Spooky chocolate, spooky ghosts.
That's right.
We also discussed if Lady Dimitrescu from the... Oh, what's the game called?
Resident Evil
Village. Is she a MILF or not? So, if you haven't listened to that banger of an episode, go check it out.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts on the previous episode, not this one.
Yeah, both. Give us your thoughts. I
guess. We're mixed, we're crossing streams.
Yeah, you never cross streams, okay? Let me just tell you now, that's a no-no. You could never do that. This week, we're going to be doing a kind of a tier list type bit with Star Wars Visions. We're going to have a short new sponsor from Wolf.
That's right. You're all going to love them.
And depending on the time, we might share some of our own thoughts about what we're excited about for the gaming and pop culture universe, things we're watching, things we're listening to, things we're keeping an eye on. And wrap it up with a question of the week.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, let's get right into it. Star Wars Visions. If you haven't checked it out, it's on Disney+. And it's kind of just a collection of short animations from different studios, right?
Yeah, and set in like the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. It's similar to What If, Disney's What If, the Marvel version.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if theirs is different studios. I think it is.
Is it?
I'm not sure. I haven't watched that one yet.
Neither have I.
Yeah, we're kind of dropping the ball on that. But this one's cooler because it's got all different styles. So what we're going to do for this one is, rather than talk about the plot and the story and the characters of all that, we're going to be discussing our top 3 favorites and our bottom 3 favorites for the animation and the style and the overall vibe. Oh yeah, unfavorites. The overall vibe of the show, mostly focusing on animations, colors, music, stuff like that. Or maybe not music. I didn't write down much about music, but
I don't know anything about music.
Yeah, we're musically untalented. But yeah, so that the general vibe, what we liked, what we disliked about it, not so much the plot of the story.
Yeah.
But Wolf, why don't you kick us off? Why don't we go our third favorite first? So we'll go 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
For our top 3 favorites, we'll go 3, 2, 1, and we'll go back and forth.
All right. My number 3 of favorites was Jalapenocho. The one with the rabbit.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Why was that number 3?
It's number 3. It's not as thrilling as like all the other ones, but it did a good job being self-contained. I liked the rabbit character, because usually the Star Wars things are about only human characters, really, even though we've got this whole wide-ass space universe with aliens. There would even technically be aliens in that context. But,
yeah, just a species.
Yeah. I thought it ended a bit abruptly. So it knocked a bit of points off, but stylistically, it was fun. It's a lightsaber fight. Almost all of them had lightsaber fights, but this one was about mid-tier. So, and that landed at number 3.
Yeah, that was episode 8, for those keeping track. That one's by Geno Studios. We'll try and shout out all the studios. And no shade to anybody on this list, even if you're bottom. They're all excellent.
Yeah.
Well done to all the studios, but it's just personal thoughts. No harm, no foul.
Exactly.
Yeah, I did enjoy that one. That one was good. Didn't make it into my top 3, but I did like it.
At least it's not in your bottom.
Yeah, it's not in my bottom 3 either. And we're not going to be rating the middle 3. There's 9 episodes. We'll give a general... We'll kind of talk about them a little bit, but they're not going to be in any specific order.
Yeah.
They weren't the best, they weren't the worst.
Mid-tier.
Yeah, mid-tier, exactly. So my third one, The Elder. Episode 7.
Yeah.
So I'm not... one cool thing about this kind of tier list and why we're doing it in this style is that Wolf is actually an animator.
Yeah.
And so they can talk a lot about, and a general artist, and you have a lot to say about stuff like that. I am not, however.
You're just going for it.
Yeah, and I'm also not that experienced with, like, anime styles in general. So I have more of a simpler take on the episodes and the style and stuff, but I have a lot to say. So, anyways, just to throw that out there. So The Elder, yeah, this is one of my favorite story-wise. I thought the style was if I were going to watch an anime or a cartoon or kind of whatever you want to call it, this is what I would come to expect as an anime. I kind of labeled it slightly standard style.
Right.
And it was also like a familiar style. Like, for anybody that's not like super into anime, this is kind of like what I would consider to be the introduction style. And which is why I really enjoyed it.
Interesting.
I also thought it was super classically Star Wars. It had a huge plot point about Master and Apprentice. The voice acting was really good. The music, while we kind of said we wouldn't talk about the music much, the music and sound effects were also really good. And I thought the colors, how it was used in a darker way, like the whole show was kind of just set in more ominous and darker tones.
More realistic.
Yeah, more realistic, and I really enjoyed that. Number 3, The Elder.
Very.
Also, probably my favorite story, if we're basing it on plot, that's probably number 1. It just felt very Star Warsy, which I really like. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
That's funny because I don't actually like Star Wars.
Yeah, I know. That's all right. I like the original Star Wars. I don't like any of the bullshit that Disney's done.
I didn't like the original. I didn't really like the new ones except for Rogue One. But when I say I like Rogue One, people are like, that's not a Star Wars movie.
Nah, they're wrong. Rogue One's excellent. Rogue One is excellent. Anyways, on to number 2.
Number 2. My number 2 was Akakiri. It was the very last one in sequential order. I liked that one. That one's also in it's more the style. The style is really unique. It's not something you'd see a lot in a lot of anime, at least not modern anime. And I liked the way they animated the lightsaber fights. They had like what is it? It's like the thing swung, but you could see like the past image of the lightsaber.
Like the trail of where it's come from, like the light trail. Yeah, that was really good.
I did like that. I liked the flashback scene. That was nice. What I really liked is the end scene where it's all red, and he ends up acting out the flashback that he's been trying to avoid.
Yeah. And
and then when he realized what he's done, the music. I really liked the music there. That's the only time I made note of the music. It was really good. And this one, as with a lot of the ones I liked, very much not traditionally Star Wars. It actually addresses one of my problems I dislike about Star Wars, is the whole Destiny thing. Because of the Destiny theme, the good guys are always going to win, and that is exactly what they do almost every time. And this time, this guy, he's got a negative destiny. And it comes true, and that was pretty cool.
I definitely agree with you about the main criticism of Destiny in Star Wars. I think it's way overplayed and to a detriment in itself. So yeah, the plot, if we're looking at that sort of thing, of the like counteracting destiny, or at least the good part of destiny. You know, this guy's got a bad destiny and he falls into it, so it plays into the same thing that Star Wars does, where their destiny comes true, but in a different way. It's he falls into the bad destiny that he has. So yeah, definitely unique. That was by that was episode 9. That was Science Saru Studios.
Ah, I know them. They did Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, really? They have 2 episodes here.
Oh.
Yeah. So we'll get to them again.
Your number 2?
Yeah, my number 2. Another one of my favorites plot-wise, and that may be why I enjoyed the animation so much. Part of it, maybe I'm a little biased, but it was The Duel, the first episode.
Ah, that's funny.
I'm guessing that's your number 1.
Yep, sure is.
All right, well, perfect. I'll talk about that, and then you can go share your thoughts about it.
Perfect.
So The Duel, I really, really love the monochromatic black and white vibes and the use of color, how it's all black and white until you get to very certain aspects.
Yeah.
Throughout the episode, they use blues and greens for lighting, but they use it in very small ways, where like the lights on the building, the lights on the ships, they're very faint. They're not overly done. They're not in your face about it. And the really larger use of color is when the lightsabers come out.
Oh, those are the best ones.
Yeah, that's the best part of it, is when the lightsabers come out. And another, what you might expect is a great lightsaber duel. It's very reminiscent of Obi-Wan and Anakin from Episode 3 fighting, if you're familiar with that. So the style of fighting was really great. But one thing, as opposed to the good versus evil fighting, this is 2 red lightsabers.
Yes.
Which I think is one reason it stands out so well, is because it's somewhat bad fighting, definitely bad. Ronan, the main character, he has a red lightsaber, but you kind of don't get a straight vibe on him.
Yeah.
About who he is. He's very a traveler sort of vibe. But yeah, it just uses excellent use of color throughout the whole thing. Even with the black and white, they have excellent uses of shades of gray, and different tones. And I also thought this studio combined 2D with 3D animation really well.
Yeah. Which
is one thing that I thought was, after a while you might think the black and white gets old, without the prominent coloring usage. However, I think, like I said, the 2D and 3D animation combination worked really well, and it gave me really good comic book vibes.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I thought it was very Star Wars-y, very well done. And you don't need to really know much about Star Wars or like Star Wars all that much to really enjoy it.
Exactly. That's how it ended up my number 1.
Yeah, why don't you share what else you have about it?
Yeah. As Lucas was saying, it abandons the traditional Star Wars good versus evil. We've got an evil versus, I guess a neutral. Because, maybe a neutral good, because it looks like he's traveling around slaying other Siths. And it's not clear whether it's just because he just happens to run into them or if that's his goal, but that's what he's been doing. And, I loved the Umbrella lightsaber.
That was so hype.
Yeah, I just first thought it was kind of silly, but then she, stabbed the dude and opened it. It's like, oh, you sold me.
Yeah, something that I really appreciated about all of these was not all of them, as I'll get to saying, but all the ones that I really enjoyed were their different takes on Star Wars canon and what you come to expect from Star Wars. And people, in the community and fan art and stuff have designed different styles of lightsabers.
Yeah.
And so it's really exciting to see something new and really, really cool, because in most canon you get a single-bladed lightsaber or a double-bladed lightsaber. There's a few exceptions here and there from books and other stuff like that, but
who's reading the books? They canon Star Wars should do more stuff like it.
I agree. They definitely should.
And also something cool about this one is that the style, it's from the same studio that did Afro Samurai. So they actually pulled from that style they did for that show and brought it to this one.
Oh, cool. Well, yeah, so this studio is Kamikaze Douga.
Doga.
Doga. It looks like, okay, sorry. Kamikaze Doga. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool, though. I love the, like I mentioned it in my thing, the samurai throwback.
Yeah.
It was very cool. And that's, like, obviously, like, what Star Wars is kind of based on or themed after. But, yeah, very cool.
Indeed. And so then what was your number one?
Okay, so my number one, which I'm actually surprised wasn't in your top three at all. Can you guess which one it was?
Is it the Twins?
It's the Twins.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is by very famous Studio Trigger, or just Trigger. This was episode 3, The Twins, like I said. I love this one.
It was lovely.
I think was a really... I said it before with The Elder, kind of like what you expect from anime, or what I would expect from anime if you're going for a realistic version. If I'm going on a cartoon path, this is what I expect from anime. Super hype, super vibrant colors, excellent music, and excellent sound effects. It made every scene was super hype. It also has Knights of the Old Republic vibes, which is one of the best Star Wars games.
Wow.
And it has, in that game, you play as 4 sensitive twins, and one of them becomes good, one of them becomes, well, sort of. One of them becomes closer to good than evil, and one of them stays evil.
I see.
And so it gave nice throwbacks to that, because that's exactly what happens in this episode. And it also had super hype, almost like original anime with like overdone scenes.
Oh yeah,
with how he over the top, like how he has this gigantic lightsaber or energy beam or whatever you want to call it, and he like cuts the Star Destroyer in half, the ship.
Oh yeah, and she had like 9 lightsabers.
She had. It was just like really, really exciting episode to watch. Very fun. Childlike, but in a way that adults can really enjoy.
Yeah.
It was very, very cool, and the coloring was excellent, very neon, very vibrant. Very good.
Yeah, the Twins was very much peak Studio Trigger work. And you know what? You want to know something? I bet in the original like storyboards or cut for this episode, when at the very end when her armor flies off, she was definitely naked in the original cut. Because that is peak Trigger.
Yeah, I've definitely looked up some of their stuff afterwards, and I'm like, oh, that's not making it on Disney Plus.
Oh, not at all. They had to put a stop to it.
But yes, definitely, it was hard to pick. I agree with you. The Duel easily could be number 1 for me. It was very hard to pick which one I wanted, but I just thought the over-the-top animation scenes were just really fun and exciting, and something new to me. Yeah. Where the first 2 I mentioned were a bit more classical and a bit more comic book style, where this one was like way out there and very fun.
Very stylized.
So do we want to discuss the middling 3 first?
Yeah. Let's give them a break real quick before we get salty.
Oh yeah. Alright, let's go. Why don't you start us off?
For my middling one, actually, the Twins ended up in the middle because it was between that one and La Pinocho, and I was like, and at first the top 3 was the Duel, La Pinocho, the Twins, and La Pinocho, but then I watched Akakiri, and I was like, that's gotta go somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah.
So the Twins is number 4, but just barely. And then there's the other one, there was the Ninth Jedi, that I thought was kind of mid, and also the Tatooine Rhapsody, because it was a cute little thing. I liked the style. I liked the 3-headed demon guy. He was neat. But not much happened. The song was cool, but only in Japanese. I listened to the English just to compare, and wow, it's like an English person trying to sound Japanese, and it doesn't work. How about you? What's mid for you?
I definitely had La Pinocho as number 4. Mm-hmm. I know we said we probably weren't going to rate them, but I did enjoy that one quite a bit. It's similar animation style to the Elder, which I enjoyed, slightly more realistic, but this one had a much more Japanese flair to it.
Yeah. You know what stood out to me in Lapa no Cho? The characters had accents. They had, like, Asian accents.
They did, and I Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, that's something I've never encountered in anime, really. So I was like, the whole time, I was kind of distracted by it the whole time. I was like, huh. And they don't do it in the Japanese version. They're not distinctly different, speaking styles.
Huh. Well, because you're quite the anime connoisseur.
That's right.
So to find something that you don't encounter as often is noteworthy for sure.
It sure is.
It didn't throw me off. I just appreciated the accents.
Yeah.
One thing that is kind of funny that I noticed a lot was, this is going to sound silly, but something I really enjoyed was the dust flares in the episode from the vehicles. Flares. Yeah. So, like, when Lop falls, the bunny character falls from, I think in the beginning, she falls off a building or something like that, and she lands and a cloud of dust appears from where she lands, and it was just really cool to see. And I know that sounds silly, but the animation just looks really cool.
Into it.
I don't know if this is, like, the right way to describe it, but it was, like, gritty and grainy. It looked more hand-drawn, which I really liked. And that's kind of why the dust and the dust clouds resonated with me. It had a little... So it's not exactly the same, but I got vibes of, like, Studio Ghibli vibes, where it's, like, hand-drawn and everything looks really well. The colors are nice.
Yeah, I got that vibe, too.
Yeah, I also have Akakiri in here. The only reason it's on here and not in my bottom is I also enjoyed the Play on Destiny, and which we've already talked about, so I won't go into that. And I also really liked the end scene of the red. That was very, very cool. I really liked that. Very stylized. I thought it is towards the bottom for me just because I found it a little bit too nihilistic. And a little bit of... It gave me too much Final Fantasy vibes as well, with the animals that they're riding. They are really similar to the chocobo animals, the, like, ostrich things.
They are.
And so I was distracted while watching that.
By the ostriches.
Yeah, I mentioned it before, but that's by Science Art Studios.
Oh!
Yeah. Did we not mention it? Well, anyways, that's who it is. They also did... another one, which I'll talk about later.
We talked about it already.
No. I mean, I mentioned who it was, but their second one we haven't talked about.
Oh, right, we talked about Akakiri twice.
Yeah. And then I have the Ninth Jedi in here. I like the plot of this one a lot. I just thought the colors were... not the colors. It felt like the lighting was off. It felt like there was some... almost lens flare in the animation, which it was just throwing me off. It looked like the lighting in the animation was too foggy and stuff like that. I like the colors when there weren't lighting scenes.
Right.
And the plot was excellent. I could use a whole nother story about the plot. I thought that was really cool. Yeah,
I liked the way they did lightsabers. That the color changes. The color's dynamic. You can go from a clear to a green, a purple to a red.
Yeah, I definitely liked that a lot. It just felt like there was something that was throwing me off that I couldn't quite pinpoint.
What color would your lightsaber be?
Well, they're not to be too much of a dork, but they're, like, all related to you as a person. So, like, you don't get to pick your color.
Right.
But I would think mine would be, like, closer to like a thoughtful character and like a more force sensitive person, which is the green attribute. So I would think it where I think they're called Jedi consuls, and then blue are kind of the more warrior styles, like the characters that fight a bit more.
Yeah.
Sith is obviously the evil guys, and then purple is like kind of in between green, blue, and red. You're kind of you're like a force sensitive and a warrior, but you also got a bit of a dark side to you.
Wild card.
Where do you think you would be?
Probably a purple.
I was just gonna say, I think you'd be purple.
It was between green or purple, and then learning what they actually meant, definitely.
Yeah, that's like a really basic version of what they all mean, and then there's like some random ass other colors that barely ever show up, so.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, irrelevant colors. Those are the main four, for sure. So is that our middling three? We got our bottom ones now, our bottom bitches?
Yeah. Time for the bottom bitches.
Time to throw shade.
Starting with number 7, you want to go?
Yeah, so number 7, for me, was The Village Bride.
Ah, yeah.
This was, episode 4. It was by Kinema Citrus, which I've never heard of them before. But I didn't really like the plot. And I also didn't really like the animation. It felt like it was missing a lot of final touches for me. There were a lot of the drawings. It felt like the outlines were missing. Like the outlines were weak for everything. And I know that's the style that they were going for.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It's not really a style that I like. Definitive outlines and stuff that doesn't meld into each other. The colors themselves were good. I appreciated that. And the close-up portraits of the characters were really well done. It was just, it felt like, for me, it was really just the outlines were incomplete for me. Mm-hmm. And again, I know that's what they're going for, obviously, you could tell.
Yeah, intention.
Just not what I enjoyed, so.
Yeah. Alright. My number 7 was The Elder.
Oh, okay.
I found also by Trigger, and it's definitely not their usual thing, and you can kind of tell. It's a bit stiff, and I really did like the idea of some powerful ass dude just vibing, waiting for someone to fight. But the fight was kind of stiff.
Yeah, it was. I definitely agree there. It was a little stiff and a little stale. Yeah,
but the turning off the lightsaber to get past the guard and then turning it on again, I like that. They should do that more in Star Wars.
They definitely should. Although I was definitely getting, for our watchers, I was getting Game of Thrones vibes from that. How, Arya kills the Night King. So, I enjoyed the episode. I also loved the entire voice actors. That was another thing I didn't mention before. The voice actors were excellent. James Hong.
Oh, you know their names.
James Hong was the villain. He's if you're familiar with Kung Fu Panda, he's the dad.
Really?
Yeah.
Range.
He's an excellent Asian American actor and voice actor. He's incredible, James Hong. David Harbour was the master. He's Hopper in Stranger Things.
Oh.
And then what's his last? It's Fisher, something Fisher. He plays in Until Dawn. Jordan
Fisher.
Jordan Fisher, yeah, he's a singer, songwriter, actor, voice actor. He was the apprentice. And so that was just another thing. I know this is bottom 3 and I'm kind of taking over a bit, but I wanted to mention those because I think that the voice acting was one of the things that actually carried the entire episode.
I see. I
loved it.
Oh, I see. I've actually watched most of the episodes in Japanese.
Oh.
Well, except for the last 3, because yeah.
You at least know it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I do not. So.
Well, there's the subs, so the subs weren't great, which, Disney, what the fuck? You made and own the show. Do good subs.
It seems like a lot of different, like Netflix and Disney are kind of lacking on those.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. I would, kind of a tangent, but I would rather just, like if you're going to make, for Squid Game, for example, they did the English version. I would rather just listen and watch the show in Korean.
Yeah.
Like, just give me the Korean version without the, like, I can read subtitles. If you can't read subtitles, go back to school. That's my hard stance, and I won't. I love watching stuff with subtitles, so maybe I'm a bit biased. But I would much rather just give me the show as intended and not pander to, like, the American audience.
Yeah.
Anyways, kind of a vibe, or kind of a tangent there, but
well,
it is a vibe. A tangent, anyways.
Yeah. And the last three I did watch in English because I was multitasking, and I will say the Elder's voice acting was good.
Yeah. Yeah, I loved it. But I agree, the fighting was a little stiff. I'm not saying it's a perfect episode, it's just, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think the points you brought up are wrong in any sense. I thought I'd be arguing with you more than... Maybe if Rainie were here, I could argue with her.
Yeah. Oh, well, one more tangent. You were saying that it's like, it looks like what you'd expect for anime. Funnily enough, that's not the case. The more realistic styles are actually kind of not as common for anime. At least not modern anime.
Sure, yeah. I guess... Yeah, go ahead.
They lean more towards the twin style, or maybe even the looking at the list, Lapanocho style, but with less grain.
Okay, yeah. I guess for me, I'm expecting just like a realistic animated cartoon almost. And I'm not saying that's, you know, good or bad. It's just like something that, you know, is familiar that I can understand and appreciate. But that's interesting that it's not like that common. That's pretty cool.
Number 8,
yeah. So you can kind of tell by my list, I have a slight bias about the plots kind of influencing me a little bit. However, number 8, Toby, did not like this one really at all.
That is also my number 8.
Oh, same wavelength.
Always.
Yeah, so Toby, that is my number 6, but it's it's my number 8. It's episode number 6. But this one is also Science Star Studios, who did Akakiri, which we've already said. I really didn't like the colors. It felt, it felt like washed out and watercolory, which I can appreciate in some ways, but I don't think worked here. I was just super distracted the entire time because it's a bad homage of Astro Boy. Which, if anybody's familiar with that, it's like a classic...
Oh, no.
Like, what is it exactly? It's a manga, right?
Yeah. It was like one of the first anime.
Right, okay. And so I just really could not get past that, and did not enjoy the plot, the music. It was playful in a bad way. I felt like this one was pandering to the younger audience, which I don't think I mean, if that's what they were going for, I guess they succeeded. But I don't think they did it in a good way. So, I don't know. I don't really have much good things to say about this.
You want to know something?
I was distracted and did not enjoy it, so go ahead.
Although I also wasn't a big fan of it. It's funny that you say it's a ripoff of Astro Boy, because it was the original creators of Astro Boy who made this one. That's why it looks like that.
Oh my god. Talk about uninspired. What?
They just did their thing.
What? I don't even have any words to say. All I can say is...
roasting them.
Think of something different. Oh my gosh.
Perhaps. But yeah, this one was also kind of low for me. I did kind of like the cute, squishy style, but the plot, although we weren't supposed to be ranking on the plot, it canceled out all the style and aesthetic. I had too many questions. It's like things just happen just because. Why did the second Sith show up? Why did he have the spaceship with a working radio? Why did he tell the robot to go look for crystal shards knowing there weren't any? Why wasn't that room guarded? Why did he deny being a Jedi so he didn't have to die? It could have been anyone's ship.
Yeah, there's just a lot of we've definitely introduced our thoughts about plots and stuff, and even though we're not really ranking on it, but yeah. I agree. I 100%. There's way too many questions. There's way too many dumb, plot holes and loops and stuff that you have to jump through to really enjoy this episode. Excuse me, and I just did not. Clearly, we neither of us did.
The lightsaber fight was fun.
The lightsaber fight was the redeeming part of the show. Which I guess in a Star Wars show should be a high point.
That is true.
Right, so at least they did that well. I don't mean to roast the studio too much, because I think they did a good job with Akakiri, so...
Yeah.
There's a few... It's not my top 3, but I still enjoyed it, so... Anyways.
So, number 9.
The
worst of the worst.
So, it's pretty obvious which one it is.
For you.
Oh, wait, I think you... Oh, no, I think I mixed it up. I think yours is something different. Mine is Tatooine Rhapsody.
Yeah.
That's yours, right?
No.
Oh, your Tatooine Rhapsody was...
It was mid-tier
for me. Yeah, mid-tier, okay. This one just sucked. I was so bored watching this episode, and this was by Studio Colorido. No offense, you have great use of colors, and I'm not an animator, so my word means nothing, or even an artist, so, don't take any offense to this, because who the fuck am I? Good use of color. I just felt that the chibi style of the whole episode was not for me. I did not enjoy it. I also thought the, plot, again, it's part of why I don't like it, was stale. It's kind of fun. The idea of, a rock band in Star Wars is fun. The guitarist that gets in trouble with the gangster clan and has to be saved, and we save them by the power of music. Come on, get out of here. I just did not like it. It was lighthearted but really non-memorable, and I just couldn't get over the chibi style, especially when I saw Boba Fett as a chibi, who was a classic character in Star Wars, and they made him look like a 6-year-old child. It was just not it. It was not hitting. I see. Again, I was bored throughout the whole episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, what's yours? What's your ninth?
First, Tatooine, something funny is that the difference between the songs and languages, Japanese, I can believe that they saved everyone through the power of music and friendship. In English, the song is so awful,
the song
they should have been killed.
Is really shit. That's another thing I didn't even mention, because again, I forgot about it because it's so non-memorable. But that song, I remember just snoozing through. That song is ass. It was bad, and I didn't listen to the Japanese one. Maybe that one's hype.
That's hype.
But the English version, once again, English is just not the way to go. If you're gonna have a Japanese episode, you don't need to put the English sub or dub in it. Just give me how you intend it.
Yeah. Or if you're gonna do it, write a different song that is intended for English.
Right, exactly. You don't need to translate it 100%. Just make a new one. Anyways,
my bottom was The Village Bride. It was so goddamn boring. The style was okay, but oh my god, it was so much nothing. I barely got through it. I wanted to just skip it. Actually, I watched it, and this was so boring, I didn't want to watch anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you did say you paused after that one. Yeah. That's episode 4, and you're like, yeah, I got there and had to stop. We did talk a little bit about Village Bride, that being my 7th. Did not like it. But I hated the other 2, so.
Even
the plot of Village Bride, I didn't go into that one much. I agree, it is pretty boring.
Yeah, it was hard to plot it. It was I actually wrote this down. It was like we were seeing the end of a movie. So we're expected to have all these connections and this dramatic build-up. But from our end, nothing happened. We're just watching the end of the movie.
I didn't think about that at the time, but that's a good way to describe it. I think you kind of nail it there. I definitely agree now that you mentioned it. Yeah, it feels like we kind of just walked in on them doing stuff. Yeah.
So
that's our thoughts on Star Wars Visions.
Yeah.
Overall, I really, really liked it. And I know I'm a Star Wars fan, but I think anyone who just enjoys different animation styles, different stories, stuff like that, I think you can really get into it. I thought it was, even with the bottom, criticisms that we have, I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, same. As someone who generally does not like Star Wars, I'd still recommend it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Not that we need to promote Disney, but...
That's fair.
I did enjoy it, and, yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let us know your thoughts if you have any... If you disagree or agree with our top or bottom or middling ones, let us know. Let us know on Twitter or Instagram. And I think next thing we have up is your ad read, Wolf.
That's right. We've got another sponsorship today.
Hell yeah!
Applause.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Today's sponsorship is brought to you by Green Long Husks. Are you lonely? Busy? Do you consider yourself morally dark gray? Then today we have the product for you! An insider secret just for our viewers, JustEve. Yes, you heard me right, JustEve. The man, the legend himself, Greenlong, has cracked the code into cloning technology. JustEve is a clone, or multiple clones, made just by taking the tip of your rib off and sciencing the hell out of it. Send them to your workplace, to social events you didn't really want to go to. Have an orgy with just yourselves. Become effectively immortal with your new friendly gang of compatible organ donors. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, what if the clones rise up? And who that they say? They won't! JustEves are genetically predisposed to do what you want, and they will do everything in their power to make sure you're happy. Because if you're happy, they're happy. You're all the same. So just call the secret number and place your order now using discount code YouAreRidiculous to get 10% off your first JustEve. That is U, capital R, ridiculous. Now for our disclaimers. Youre Ridiculous is not responsible for anything that happens after you place your order. And Greenlong Husks cannot guarantee that it's just the tip of your rib is taken. What are you waiting for? Order now! Or become the fodder that fuels his technology. Thank you again, Greenlong Husks!
Thanks, Greenlong Husks. Excellent. I know I'm going to be putting my order in.
Oh, yeah. I've already got 2.
You're using the promo code. Oh, yeah, that's right. So now, we have the question of the week. We're kind of running low on time, but we have a good question this week. So, a popular debate from every, friend group and whatnot and movie trope. So do you want to ask him?
Oh, yeah. Question of the week this week is, how long would you survive a zombie apocalypse?
So I think what I thought of right away was, I think it's super dependent on the type of zombie that you have.
That is true.
So, I'm not super familiar with all the different types, but there's one game in particular that, again, I'm kind of forgetting on. But their zombies are super fast. I think it's...
Left 4 Dead?
I think it's Left 4 Dead. And they have all these different types as well. Yeah, I think it is.
Like the witch and the...
Right, and they have like, spitters and... like wraith type styles where they're really, really fast, or they have like big hulky tanky boys. Or is it more the classic style with Walking Dead, where they have crawlers and they're generally on the slower side?
We're gonna split the difference to be more realistic. They're not absolutely worthless like Walking Dead zombies, but they're not overpowered either. There's some variety. Some have benefits, some have detriments.
So they're closer to like a human style with just a bit of decay.
Yeah, they've got some strength. Maybe like what, Resident Evil? I think it's the same game.
Resident Evil. Yeah.
Maybe that level without the bosses.
Sure, middling style without the OP crap.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. And I think a lot of people have thought about this before.
Oh, surely.
But I think I would actually do okay. I'm definitely not going to be the fastest person there. If, we have to outrun them, I could definitely sprint for a while.
Yeah.
But if it's, an open field and we have to run for, 2-3 miles, I would have to jog. I'm not, the most athletic, but I could definitely get away from it.
I wouldn't even try. I'm at least die with all my breath.
That's right. I could definitely get away and sprint away from if anything sneaks up on me. And I'm definitely strong enough to, like, beat a few heads in if I need to. I think my survival skills are definitely okay. I've gone camping several times, know how to start fire on my own, know how to, if I need to do that, know how to cook with limited stuff, so that's no problem there. I think my general world knowledge is good enough. I think I'm, like, personable. If I ran into someone, that I needed to talk to or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I could get through by that just fine. I think, like, I have good enough stamina that if we need to, like, walk, which we probably would, quite a ways, like, carrying all of our stuff, I think that wouldn't be too much of an issue. I could do that.
Yep.
I think I would be okay.
Yeah, you're in a good location for a zombie apocalypse, too.
That's also true. If it started tomorrow, I'm on top of a ginormous hill, so I could just throw stuff down at the zombies trying to get up on me.
Roll a ball down like it's Fall Guys.
That's right. It was funny story. My mom, so I'm actually in the house that my mom grew up in. And it's a big, huge, older house with tons of rooms and multiple floors and everything like that. But it's on a ginormous hill. The hill itself I'm about 2 miles uphill.
Wow.
And it's very steep. And so one day my mom and her, siblings were coming home shopping with my grandmother, and their car broke down halfway up. So they put the emergency brake on, and my grandmother said, well, we have groceries in the back. You all need to carry them up. And so they had to carry up. There's in a snowstorm, by the way.
Oh, man.
That's an important part. That's why the car actually broke down. They carried him up in the snowstorm, and my mom or my uncle probably got about 30 feet from the house, slipped on some ice, and all his groceries fell down the hill. And he had to chase after them and go get them.
They'd be lost. I'd be too embarrassed.
Some of them were, because there's slight twists and turns to the hill as you walk up it. So he could only get a few of them.
Honestly, all those groceries probably would have been fine in the car because of the snow.
Probably,
It'd be cold.
But they definitely had to carry groceries up a few different times. I've heard the stories.
How hellish.
Yeah, and so I can only hope that with winter coming, and me being up a hill, the zombies won't be able to get through the ice.
Oh, yeah, they won't even think about it.
No, not at all. And so I've got, plus all the animals on this hill, they'll defend me. I'm their friend.
Oh, you've got a pact.
I feed the animals on this, a bunch of the animals, all the turkey and deer and gophers and groundhog.
Around.
That's right, turkeys are my boys. I got a whole squad of them.
Squad up.
Yeah. Anyways, that's enough about me. How do you think you would do over in California?
I think I'd be pretty decent at it. My location, not great, but
Not great. Pretty populated.
Depending where I am, where it strikes. If I'm at home, I'd be pretty good. I live in a 3rd floor apartment. The doors, they're weird for fire reasons. They can shut and be very hard to open, which that feels a bit dangerous in a fire situation. But that's what they do. Exactly. I took a survival class in college. Didn't get to finish it because of COVID, but I learned things. I did. I was probably one of the better ones there, even though other people had experience. There was one person who fell asleep outside of their sleeping bag in the middle of winter. I'm amazed they lived.
And one person was boiling water and they poured on themselves?
Yeah, they almost spilled it on themselves and other people.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so not the best there. They're not going to survive.
Yeah. But I can make a fire now. I know how to read a map now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Keep food pretty stocked.
I think that's a secret skill, actually, is reading directions and maps. That would be a good skill to have. Not everyone can do that.
That is true. I think if I could wait out the first initial craziness, I'd be pretty set to go. Because I've got my motorcycle, so I can just kind of weave through whatever carnage got left on the ground and make my way out of the hot zone.
Right. I think your main detriment and one of my assets is that you're in a populated area, heavily populated, and I'm not that populated. As far as New Hampshire goes, I'm in one of the more populated, but I'm We got the mountains and everything like that, so there's not a huge amount of people, especially when you compare it to where you are.
Oh, yeah. Practically nothing over there.
I know. So
just a homeless population alone.
Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the special breeds of zombies we have, the homeless. So, if you can get through your population, I think you'll do okay. You're definitely, like, quick enough.
Yeah.
You're quicker than me.
I got ideas. Outside the box.
I meant athleticism.
Oh, I'm quick for maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah, you could definitely squirm your way in and out.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't. I think I could be, like, quiet enough and sneak around. But, like, I'm definitely, like, if I'm spotted, I'm spotted.
Catch me sliding in the crack like a gopher.
Yeah, exactly. You could definitely, move around. I would have to, bust my way through.
You know what my real detriment is? My bitch dog. I wouldn't have the heart to leave him behind.
No, and he would give you away so badly.
Every time.
He'd be whining all over the place. Oh yeah. What do you think a style of, like, what would your weapon choice be? Because I think that's another.
That's a good question. Because I don't really have access to guns. I loosely know how to use one. Used it once for my birthday. I went to a shooting range, but I'd probably end up with something more blunt force, and then probably some knives, other sharp objects that I've been carry with, maybe like hand knives. I've got the survival knife my class gave me. Maybe put some sharp things on a stick. You have that
dick handle. You could put that on
something. Beat someone down with it, and then
beat them friendly. With the meat.
I'd probably prefer to stick alone, but I'd be friendly to the people I meet if they were worth being friendly to.
Yeah.
And I think I can handle taking down a human. I don't think I'd have too many qualms with it.
What, an actual human or
an actual human? I can take down zombies. They're already dead.
That's why I wanted to make sure. I'm like, I would hope you have no problem taking down a zombie.
Yeah. But if a human wanted to step in my way, they'll force my hand.
You mentioned a good point there. I would definitely stick with the people I know.
Yeah.
Stick with a small group, for sure.
I've actually I've talked about it with Julia, and they're like, we should meet in the middle. We'll be a trio. We'll meet, like, in Texas or so. Well probably above Texas, where nothing is.
I was gonna say, we could just go, like, Midwest, where there's nobody.
Yeah. And thrive.
Exactly. Start a new colony. I am very proficient with several firearms. I can know how to use them. However, that would not be what I want to use, because it draws way too much attention and
that is true.
Requires ammo. Which is just annoying. Like, obviously, if I found them, I could use them. Or was given one, I could know how to use them. And, a rifle or sidearm or whatever. Pistol, whatnot. Could use all of those. And have access to them, so could do that.
Yeah.
I would pick something with a lot of range, though. I would want to, maybe something like a bat or something even longer, like a staff of some sort. We have all this farm equipment.
Oh, yeah, you got pitchforks.
Yeah, pitchforks. I have a harpoon.
Oh, yeah.
So I that would probably be one of the ones I'd want. Something with, stabby quality to it.
Yeah.
Or I could use, it's got some heft to it, so I could definitely bludgeon a few things.
Yeah.
But something like that. I would definitely want to keep my distance. Because if they get too close, again, I could be quick enough, but if they're quicker than me, then we have a problem.
True.
So I'd want to maintain some amount of distance. And I don't want something that requires ammo or, like, some refill quality that to stay alive, because that's asking for trouble.
You empty your gun, you run in, and you start picking the bullets out the zombies.
Yeah. It's just like, excuse me, I need that. I need that back. Excuse me. Yeah.
I'd probably armor up a bit, because I have these little arms. I can't really do anything too heavy duty. So I'd have to be, my option are things that will kind of require me to get close. I'd probably have, like, motorcycle helmet, defend the face, and then something on the arms, since that's what I'm engaging with.
Yeah, are we saying, assuming that, like, only bites infect you?
Yeah.
So no, like, scrapes and stuff like that?
Yeah, no scrapes. The bite. The infection is in the saliva. Let's say that.
That's fair. That's fair. So yeah, I definitely would want to armor up somehow, heavy jacket or leather jacket or something like that.
Yeah.
I definitely don't like how if you anyways watch some of The Walking Dead, they're just like, normal clothing, and it's just like
as if you're
they
not
got no protection.
In the end of the world. At least dress the part.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't always get that, but they're dumb.
Although their zombies were hardly problems. They were just stupid.
Yeah, they were just dumb. They got bit so many times that they deserve to die.
From noisy-ass, slow-ass zombies that walk slower than me, even.
Yeah. The only, quality about them that's throwing anybody off is that they're kind of spooky looking.
Yeah.
Because they have, a lot of human characteristics retaining. Even, the crawlers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Which, sounds obvious, but if you're, Left 4 Dead, they don't look human at all, so... So a bit of a longer question, but I think it's interesting, and I think one that a lot of people have thought about themselves.
Yeah.
I'd also go somewhere highly, once I'm ready to move and have my group or whatever, or have plans to move, go somewhere defensible.
Yeah.
Don't just, board up your basic-ass house.
That's nothing.
I am on top of a really high hill, and that would help. But my house is old. They could probably just knock the walls down.
Punch it a few times.
Yeah, my house is a very old kind of farmhouse style where it's not the most defensible house.
Yeah.
My defensive position lies on the hill. That's it.
Once they make it up.
Exactly. If they make it up that, I'm fucked. I gotta rely on myself. But you have the bonus of that sturdy door, so.
That is true. And the other people that could draw attention away from me, because they're stupid.
Well, one thing I always thought of was climbing a water tower.
I don't think we have those. I think we have those in LA. We have a fake one for WB.
You probably don't. Well, we got plenty over here. But something like that, there's not a huge platform on top of them, but you could make one.
Yeah.
You have, the rest of your life. So you might as well go somewhere defensible. I haven't watched much of The Walking Dead. I got bored with it after season 4. However, their best place ever was the prison.
Yeah. They just blew it somehow.
Yeah, they did. Well, I think someone sabotaged that area.
Oh, okay.
They were tempting the zombies, putting bait by the fences, and the fence got knocked down.
I see.
Someone was trying to ruin it. I didn't watch all the way through. I got bored during that. But, yeah, obviously I'm not teaming up with someone who's going to sabotage our location. Yeah, you, me, Julia, and Rainie can all meet up together.
Oh, perfect.
And the college gang.
Unkillable squad.
That'll be, except Lauren, though.
She'd be dead. She wouldn't make the trip over.
She wouldn't. She wouldn't make the trip to Walker.
That's true.
Listening off.
She wouldn't survive the wait while Walker came and got her.
Yeah, exactly. She'd be huddled in a corner, petrified, cuddling her cat. Her cat would last longer than she would.
I'll take the care of Oily.
Yeah.
Now I got 2 bitch animals.
All right. Well, what we thought might be a shorter episode ended up turning to a pretty long one.
We're big talkers, I guess.
Yeah, we had a lot to say about visions and zombies.
That's supposed to be.
But, Wolf, why don't we start wrapping this episode up?
Alrighty then. Thank you everyone for watching Your Ridiculous Episode 4. Check us out. We are now on all the major streaming platforms, YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Though I guess you know that.
We also post regularly on Instagram.
And Twitter.
And, Twitter. Well, we're already on. Yeah, I said that before.
Yeah, you can follow us. You can follow the cast page at Ridiculous Cast, both on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow Lucas under 7 Angry Wasps with a E, and you can follow me on Rainbow Does without a W.
Hell yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. Say goodbye, Lucas.
Bye-bye, Lucas.
Oh, I love it. Bye-bye.
Bye.